Irvingman, watches shows sitting on his can. Tells a story, tells a joke, monetizes cause he's broke. Look out, here comes the Irvingman.
We only know one person named Connor, and the last time we saw him was an adventure. One person we see too often is J. Jonah Jameson.
Parker! These photos are terrible. You're lucky I'm in a good mood, or you'd be back taking pictures for your school newspaper.
But Mr. Jameson...
Don't interrupt. This paper needs a scoop. Something just came in from Florida. You can get back in my good graces by taking this assignment.
You mean I have a choice?
Actually, no.
Oh, he has a choice. He can go home and not get paid.
Well...
But I don't even know what it is yet.
Don't get smart, Parker.
One of you needs to. Dr. Connor is working on increasing the intelligence of reptiles. Peter is to go down there and get the scoop on this. How he gets to Florida is his problem, not Jonah's. Jonah has his own assignment while Peter is away.
I'm going to run a 3-part expose of that quack, as well as any other scientist who thinks he can put something over on the public.
Too bad Peter knows from personal experience that everything Dr. Connor claimed is true. Now he's at it again. You know how it goes. Some guys just cannot stop playing with their test tubes.
Sometimes I wonder why I put up with old JJ and his job.
I wonder why it took him 2 tries to say that. This episode features more of the missing dialogue sequences like that one. And I know the answer because Jonah pays well and doesn't ask questions. He's a raving nitwit, but he does try to keep his word. When Peter came to work for him, he said, "You can have exclusive access to my photos as long as you never ask how I get them." Jonah was fine with that. Once in the comics, Peter got a gutful of Jonah and took his pictures to a rival newspaper. The editor, I think his name was Barney Bushkin, but don't hold me to that, was spellbound. And then he started firing the questions. How did you get these? What kind of camera do you use? What kind of film? How do you get into position to take them? How often do you clip your toenails? Peter suddenly realized that for all his bombastic silliness, Jonah honored his commitment. And Peter learned his lesson.
I made a terrible mistake. The intelligence-increasing serum was too powerful, Grace. I'm being held captive by one of my own creations. You and Billy must leave. The thing wants to rule the swamps.
Dr. Connor didn't learn his lesson. And now he's Dr. Frankenstein with his own creation turning against him.
Your husband really has bad breaks, Mrs. Connors. First turning to a lizard himself, now this.
The thing is, those bad breaks are all his own doing. In these cartoons, he became the lizard while trying to cure swamp fever, but in the comics, he had a missing arm and was trying to create a serum to regrow limbs the way lizards regrow their tails. He tested it on himself, and we saw the result. Now he's trying to boost Reptiles' intelligence, and it worked too good. He created an alligator emperor, and it's up to Spiderman to depose him.
Quickly, where's your husband's laboratory?
Oh, that's it over there. Why? What are you going to do?
Perhaps, just perhaps, if your husband left some serum in the lab, I can analyze it, possibly find a way to reverse its effects, and I've got to move.
If it's a chemical, there should be a way to neutralize it. Emphasis on should.
Lucky I know enough to be able to analyze chemicals. Who'd have thought that I'd start off trying to take photos and wind up playing with test tubes?
Peter Parker was playing with test tubes long before he thought of taking pictures. His propensity for science stuff is how he got his spider powers in the first place.
So, Spider-Man, I have read about you. You will try to stop me. No human must stop me.
I'm not sure what language his mouth is speaking, but I'm glad he was dubbed.
Now give me that serum, please.
Okay, several things. First, where'd he find a potato masher hand grenade? Second, that's the toughest beaker I ever saw. All laboratory glass should be made out of that stuff. And third, he did say please. He hasn't read that much about Spider-Man if he thinks a little kaboom like that is going to finish him. Peter also had time to make his reverser chemical. Now he just has to feed it to the Emperor before the Emperor feeds the other serum to more alligators. You may have noticed that happens a lot. One little known aspect of his spider powers is he has a cast iron head. That's how it takes so much punishment without turning him into a drooling imbecile. What? Whisper louder, I can't hear you. Don't ask me what happened. I couldn't tell any more than you could. His spider sense is actually useful for once, and it's directing him to a place in the swamp where our friend is terrorizing a couple of fishermen in a small boat.
He's around here somewhere. I can feel it. Spider sense tingling stronger. But where is he?
There is he, and you without your scuba gear. No, you may not borrow mine. That little fight doesn't last long. Spider-Man breaks free and webs up to a convenient tree. Suddenly the reptile is nowhere to be found.
I got the serum reverser with me. Do you know where your husband kept his specimens?
In the old Spanish fort. Oh, Spider-Man, please hurry.
We should feed the serum to any other reptiles.
At least it's not a fully functioning gas engine this time. We know the old Spanish fort from the last time we saw Dr. Connor because a leftover conquistador was hanging out there. After his clash with Spider-Man, he realized he was tired of the swamp. So he retired and settled in an over 55 community in Miami. As far as anybody knows, he's still there. Nobody notices his conquistador outfit because everybody there dresses funny.
Soon all the swamps shall be ours. Reptiles will once more rule the earth. Soon, my friends, you will think, will know. You will join me to conquer.
Soon you will stand around and talk endlessly when you should be doing the thing you are talking about.
Spidey takes a couple of pictures for Jonah and then gets to work.
Spider-Man, what a pleasant surprise. Dropped in for dinner, eh? While my friends appease their hunger, I shall take care of Connor's. Get the human.
Spider-Man has several ways he can get out of this, not the least of which is just climb up that same wall and get away from them.
But where is... Take your medicine.
We have a cat that makes those same expressions when she has to take her medicine.
Wow. Not only did it take away his intelligence, it took away him.
Took away him? What does that mean? Do you mean it killed him, or he just vanished? Connor is back home with his family, and he's sworn off that crazy kind of research. We still don't know what happened to the Emperor because we're following the first rule of filmmaking: tell, don't show. I got that right, yes? 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 Webs up to a convenient